Hi class, today we're going to take a look at smart objects and how great they are for production. They can be really efficient. And here we have a mug. What we're going to be doing is we're going to get a grid shape in our custom shape tools right here. And we're going to turn that into a smart object. And then the grid is great because the grid is going to allow us to form that grid along the shape and contour of the mug. And then when we're done forming it and shaping it, we'll replace it with another image so that it'll fit in here just beautifully. So I've got my custom shape tool, and then if you come up here into the options bar, you'll find the grid kind of towards the bottom. Now if you don't see it, don't forget that you can come over here to the right and you can get all of your vector shapes right here, and then you should see it. So that's it. Also, I'm going to make it black, so if you don't have a black color, black's just good to work with, although you really could use any color you like. Now I'm going to click and drag a grid like so. Now I'm going to click and drag that grid. I don't use the shift key just because here now we may want to choose a proportion that we like. And for example, I might pull this down a little. I don't know, something like that. Making it a little smaller. So you get your grid and press return after every transform. Next thing is to instantly turn this into a smart object. At this point then you're able to double click on this layer and replace it. So before we do that though, let's turn it into a smart object. You can do that in your layer menu under smart objects, convert to smart object. Now it's a smart object, and you can see that little icon here that indicates that it is, and we're going to begin to move it. We use the edit transform warp. You might also need to rotate it depending on the perspective of your mug or whatever shape you're placing a contour on. I don't need to rotate, I can tell that, but you might, so that you just kind of look at your contour and kind of figure out how you need to manipulate it. I'm just going to go to warp. Warp's wonderful, and it's going to give me the ability to move my anchor points in like so. I'm just going to move these in a little, and then I'll take the handles in, and I'm just trying to kind of make it fit this. Now also some mugs have more of a curve right here, so you really have to fit it in. I think this one doesn't, but some do. Down here we do have a curvature, so I'm just going to move this down, and I'm going to move this down and just try to fit this up along this curvature, something like this. So we're trying to make this look round. Also in the center, if we pull these down too, we're going to communicate that curvature as well. Okay, we're close. Something like this. And you can keep playing with it, but this is the general idea. Curvature. So anyway, once you're happy with it, press return. That's pretty good. It's not perfect, but keep working on form fitting that. Now, because we made a smart object, the cool thing is we can replace this, and I'm going to do that. Essentially, I have a little picture of a free public domain image that I'm going to copy onto the mug and replace with this grid. So I'm going to select all and copy that, and then come in here and double click on this smart object right here. Just double click on the thumbnail. Click OK through here. It's just telling you that you have to save to commit changes. Now it gives you a small sort of the container smart object package of this original grid, which what we're going to do is we're going to replace. Now sometimes you won't see an extra layer, so you might have to create one. I'm going to just create one in case you don't have one. And you turn off the grid, and then I already copied the pony. I'm going to paste that in. Now it's really big. And one of the big important things is that you've got to shrink it to fit this box, or else that'll be all you get on the mug. So I'm going to edit, free transform. Now I command minus out so I can see the box because it's pretty big. And I'm going to make this fit the box. Because it's a and press return. Let me command plus in so we can see that. And then I'm just going to kind of fit it kind of nicely in there. Something like that. Now when I save this, instantly, we click back here, it's fit onto the mug, and you can see it's also, because of what we did with the grid, instantly it matches into the contours of the mug. Isn't that cool? The other thing that's really great is I could actually go find another image if I wanted and put a different image on here, and that's what makes this so good for production. So for example, here's where I've got my free domain images, and we could get another image, and let's just do that. I'm just going to find something to place on here, and it's kind of a vertical picture. So let's see what size this is. See if that works. You can copy that, go back into Photoshop, and if I again double click on the Smart Object layer, I can also paste the picture in here, and again I got to shrink it. So I've shrunk it, and then I'm going to transform, free transform, and holding down the shift key, form fit that in there, command plus. I zoom out so that I can see the whole bounding box. Now we put this in here, kind of balance it in there, and turn off the other image so that you're committing to only this, and then save it again. Now go back to the mug, and it's been replaced. So you can see this is a really powerful way to work. When you're in production, let's say you had to do 50 mugs with different designs on them, you could do this once with the grid and then just continue to change images and so on and so forth. So it's a really fast way to work. Hopefully you've enjoyed this time with Smart Objects, and have a great process working on it yourself.